and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 146. How is it going? How was your weekend? I guess it totally depends when you're listening. This will be aired on a Monday. You could be listening it at any time and any day. So how was your weekend? How was your Monday? How was your day? What's really exciting is that the grandkids are actually over right now, so I feel like a super wealthy LaLa. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get a show recorded today? Because when the show actually airs, in order to get it aired on time, I have to pre-record these. And when I have an appointment that I have to be at and my day is full, so it needs to be done ahead of time. And then I planned this fun day with the boys. And anyway, so it's really kind of cool to sort of have their energy in the house contributing while I do this. So I kind of went to my hubby and I'm like, do I have some time? When's the best time? He's like, go now. I'm like, okay. So I have the clearance. I have the clearance to him holding down the fort for me or for us and me to share with this. So, I wanted to, I saw a quote on Facebook today. Well, I saw a couple of them that were really cool. And, what I kind of really wanted to sort of talk about is like, do you create the life that you desire? Like, do you know that you actually can? That you actually can. So I saw this quote, Dr. Joe Dispenza, love his stuff, it's what I'm so into right now, among other things. And he says, every time we have a thought, we make a chemical. If we have a good, elevated thoughts or happy thoughts, we make chemicals that make us feel good or happy. And if we have negative thoughts or bad thoughts or insecure thoughts, we make chemicals that actually make us feel exactly the way we're thinking. So every chemical that is released in the brain is literally a message that feeds the physical body. Now the body begins to feel the way we are thinking. So what kind of life are you creating with the thoughts that you're thinking? Now, I'm not going to lie, like this, I would come across to the outside world, like I'm really happy and I'm upbeat and stuff like that. But I didn't realize that when I was alone by myself, that my thoughts that I was holding on to, or the ones that I wasn't letting go of, were actually ones that could be really, like, it was a worry, it was a distressed, it was an anxious, it was resentful, it was frustrating, it could be anger at times. And like I could like hold on to something like a Chihuahua dog on a bone, like I would just be at it and at it and at it and at it. And so, I could see that if I was, say, then out in public putting on, this persona, because of course, like it's a persona, but at the same time it's me. It's just that I would just choose it then, like rather than choosing it all the time. Like when I'm alone with me, why wouldn't I want to create that for myself? So anyways, if we don't actually take the time to have an awareness of what we're choosing when we're by ourselves, when we're with, like, and this is the funniest thing, and I really noticed this too, and I think I've talked about it on other shows, like often we will choose to be kinder to people outside of our homes than we do to the people inside of our homes. Like we'll say, yeah, it was because I had a stressful day. Oh, it's because they love me. They know really what I am, or what I really mean. And yet, if you think about it, isn't it kind of crazy that the people that are the closest to us, the people that we care about the most, and will choose to be like almost like emotionally lazy with them? And even bigger, emotionally lazy with ourselves. Like, let me read this again. Because, oh my God, like, I think I'm reading this again for me. Because every time we have a thought, we make a chemical. If we have good elevated thoughts or happy thoughts, we make chemicals that make us feel good or happy. And if we have negative thoughts or bad thoughts or insecure thoughts, we make chemicals that make us feel exactly the way we are thinking. So every chemical that is released in the brain is literally a message that feeds the physical body. Now the body begins to feel the way we are thinking. And so do you notice that if you have like a negative thought, you have a worried thought, you have a guilty thought, then you start to feel heavy in your body. And we've bought that heaviness is real. We've made it more real and true than the light, airy, spacey, elevated thoughts. And so, you know, oh my gosh, I just keep going back to like, are you being and choosing emotional laziness with yourself and or the people the closest to you? Now, guys, girls, this is going to require some vulnerability and you can do it. I'm not saying it's easy when we're, but we can have ease with it. You can ask for ease, ask the universe, ask God, ask the divine, to support you and assist you, your teammates, ask the elementals, the fairies and angels and whatever else you want to call them. Like, man, enlist them all in assisting you. Those guys are just standing there waiting. We have our free will. And if we use this will to ask, then they're there. And I've seen this for myself. So play with it, and then, allow them to contribute to you. And if you notice anything, then say thank you, acknowledge it. Because then it's like, so wait, they're on it more. So how's it get any better? So yeah, like how emotionally lazy or strong are you being with yourself? Like, oh my gosh. So this is just, so within this, what kind of life are you actually really, truly, truly, truly creating for yourself? Like, are you creating a life of connection? Are you creating a life of joy, a life of ease, a life of abundance? I'm sort of getting that I can hear people going, yeah, right. Okay, Laurie, that seems like a really airy fairy. That's really way out there. Like, come on, life couldn't be all of that. But you're right. The universe is going to make you right if that's also what you believe. If you believe that life is suffering, if you believe that life is painful, if you believe that life is difficult, life will give you that. And that's not saying that you're not going to have challenges, isn't that we're not going to have things come up in our lives, and we're not going to have people pass away and jobs change and friendships change and, people divorce or whatever, you're raising kids and then they have their own minds of their own and their own life adventures they're on while they're in your house. How does it get any better? Oh my gosh. And life still doesn't have to be hard. It can be, challenging, but it doesn't have to be hard. And, when I look back on this whole like past week or so with my jaw pain, and if you guys want to hear about it, if you're just tuning into this show, you can listen to my last week's show. Shows I talk about it. It wasn't fun. Okay. It wasn't fun. And it was difficult. And I asked for as much ease with it as possible. And it created so much more in my world. I actually had a good friend over for supper last night and we were chatting and she was like, oh my God, like that sounds like that was really awful, Laurie. And I'm kind of like, yeah, it was. And one of the things that I said to her was, it wasn't cool. But I actually realized that I was actually functioning before as a person who was really, really, really weak. Sometimes I even, like, I wouldn't say now, but before, I could have even gone into the pathetic realm. So I just wasn't strong at emotionally handling things. I went to victim, I went to discouragement. Oh, discouragement was super huge in my world. I went to guilt, I went to frustration, I went to the wrongness of it all. And what I realized when I had this jaw pain again this last week, I was the only person the only person that could get me out of it. I was the only person. So it kind of reminds me of when I was in, labor, especially with my first kid. I remember going, I'm the only person that can assist me through this. Like, other people can contribute, but when it comes right down to it, I'm the one that loses it, or I'm the one that doesn't lose it. And it's still a choice on my part. And I realized that I was able to choose through all of this with, what do I need? What do I want? What do I want to create here? Like, if this is going to go on for a few more days, what do I need? What do I need in this moment? And that's actually where I did choose to then, like I told you last week, I chose to actually go and have a morphine shot a couple of times. And that actually really contributed to me sleeping. Then I had a better attitude, you know? And I got to tell you, just on a side note, I kind of went from really a right-wing party, like I was totally in the healthcare field because I worked in it. Then I got sick. Then I kind of went total left-wing or whatever. I went totally alternative, made medication completely wrong and bad. And now I've come to a place where it's like all our bodies are different and every circumstance is different. And morphine may not be a choice for someone every day. I've discovered I won't, and this is a really another side note, I won't ever be the type that's addicted. So that's awesome. Even though it felt really good, I still don't require it all the time. But when I had it, it would really, I was aware of why I was choosing it. I knew that I needed it so that I could make it through, because my mindset was going down. I needed to get to that relief point. And boy, I tell you, I don't remember what show it was last week, but really listen to that one, because getting yourself to any kind of relief to create greater in your life is just absolutely beyond, God, I can't even think of the word. I want to say magical. It's like you have to. It's like a priority. You just got to get yourself to some kind of relief. What's going to create relief in your world? So, anyways, just, I really noticed that with this jaw pain and everything for me, that it really created an inner strength and an inner confidence that, had I not had it, wouldn't, it's almost like I didn't get to see my resilience. I didn't get to see how strong I was. I mean, is that something that I'd be like, hey, you can throw that at me again? Well, no. And um, I don't actually regret it. And actually, that's something I wanted to quickly say here, as we're getting close to the end of this show again, is what I've since discovered by looking at this is you can look at a situation. So you can get a situation like, okay, I got the jaw pain. And you could be like, okay, I wasn't listening to my awareness. Oh my God, I must have created this by not listening. That could be one way. Or it could be that this situation is actually creating something that I've actually asked for. And this is how, by going through this, I'm going to create what I've asked it for. Now, I hope you guys can follow that. And I really get, with the inner strength that I've been asking for with myself, the ability to trust myself more. I required something that intense. And I'm telling you, I'm a girl with a high tolerance for pain. And so it got me in a way that I chose to stay so present with myself to find out what I actually required. And again, it was a variety of things. It was meditation, reaching out to friends. It was medication. It was, having naps. It was, doing tapping, my emotional freedom technique tapping. It was staying in the question. It was watching YouTube videos, either on Dr. Joe Dispenza or something that was funny. It was all of that. And it was also the visualizing of creating what I would want with this. Like, what would it be like to have a pain-free body? So I just want to say to you guys, as I'm coming to the end of this, please, please, please don't make yourself wrong for any challenging situation you're in. Definitely re-listen to this show or the relief one last week. Let yourself ask some questions. I am always available for sessions. Reach out to me at thewealthylala@gmail.com. I would love to support and facilitate you through this. We can find our happies beyond pain and suffering. Pain and suffering does not have to define us. It does not have to be the life that we choose. There is actually something beyond that. And I know that to be true now for myself. And I love to facilitate and support other people in finding that for themselves too. So, reach out if you can. And just remember, like, your thoughts are creating for yourself. Really be mindful of the thoughts that you're choosing, especially those little secret, little sneaky buggers that you're doing at home when nobody's watching, even you're not watching. Find those little suckers, take care of them, clean them up, make them sweet. You deserve it. You deserve greater. So on that note, have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for listening, and I'm off to play with my grandsons. How'd I get so lucky? Big time.